First of all, I am a very involved superintendent. I care about everybody that contacts me. I do appreciate, when parents do contact me, I always do encourage them to contact the building principal to make sure that their needs have been heard and met. And, and people are very gracious about it. They do that, and I appreciate it. But I also let those parents know when they're reaching out to me, I know there's a certain sense of trust that they want to have, that I'm going to follow through. And I can assure you that usually on my part, I usually define with that parent, I'm going to contact the building principal, kind of see, what's going on, and then, circle back around and address that issue. So I just want folks to know on both ends. And the reason why I encourage them to I'm a former building principal, encourage the fact that the relationship thing is important. Sometimes through challenges or disagreements, if handled appropriately, that relationship is important to be built there. And again, if for parents who are not getting the satisfaction from a building level decision, or something that needs aren't being met, by all means, that certainly is something that you're afforded to make sure that I, as the superintendent, are attending to that concern as well. So it's I just want to let people know the involvement, and I do get back to folks with regards to that, and I will make recommendations sometimes to our administration that sometimes when you're so much in the trenches, it's a little bit where it's kind of like I might make a recommendation. Well, maybe a proactive communication would suit this situation better than reactive. And so, that's part of our job, to support that, not just necessarily agree, but also to make sure that we not only support them, but also how do we make a situation maybe better for all stakeholders, including, most importantly, our students. So.
And the last thing I do want to say, because I'm about accountability across the board. So as we as families and communities deal with these situations where social media is driving people to make decisions, I just want to ask our families as well to have these conversations with your children about the inappropriateness of these actions. Granted, some of the public comment was not necessarily about the result of the challenge, so to speak, because something happened after an action. So please have the conversations with the kids about it as not being appropriate, and how some things you see on social media can be funny from a distance, but to enact them can be criminal, can also interrupt your education pattern, and there is a moral accountability to it as well. So thank you for giving me that opportunity. And we'll go right into the minutes. Mr. Hill?
And recommend for approval the minutes for the regular board meeting of August 24th, 2021, and the special meeting of September 14th, 2021 will be approved as recorded or corrected. Furthermore, the reading of these minutes will be waived.
Sorry, I was supposed to say that.
Okay.
Sorry, thank you. May we get a motion to approve item 3.1?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Robbins and Mr. Bloomberg. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, may we get a roll call?
Mrs. Ryan?
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Lee?
Aye.
Thank you for that. Item 4, Treasurer's Report, going into 4.1, Financial Reports.
Recommend for approval item 4.1, the financial reports for month end August 2021. 4.2, the bank reconciliation for month end August 2021. Item 4.3, the investment earnings for month end for August 2021. Item 4.4, the approval of then and now purchase orders, and that is through September 15, 2021. Item 4.5, donations. And finally, item 4.6, the annual permanent appropriations for all funds for fiscal year 2022. And item 4.7, recommend for approval items 4.1 through 4.6.
Perfect. May we get a motion to approve those items?
So moved. Second.
Ms. Lee? Ms. Nunn? Any questions or comments?
Actually, very quickly, Board President Jones, I actually would like to
And we can bring it back up right here. We have a lot of donations for, that are in memory of Mr. Greer, the white Greer, who was actually a principal here, a teacher here in our district, and he was here towards the end of his career. But he started this little arts program when they played sports and they played basketball, was passionate, and it actually helped our kids out a lot. So I had no idea who Mr. Greer was because when I was coming into SEL, his career was ending here. But then to read his obituary and to find us out and to receive these donations in lieu, I would like to say thank you to his wife and his stepdaughter and their children. If they are watching, we greatly appreciate the donations, and we will make sure that our children are aware of where they come from. So thank you all very much.
Any other comments?
Oh, I just want to say, my kids a couple of them were there when Mr. Greer was there, and you would have never, ever known that he was at the end of his career when he was here. He was just so enthusiastic and so upbeat and so positive around our kids and always looking for ways to get them more opportunities and things for them to do. And he's also brought in like a golfing program at Greenview for a while, and he was a really great guy. So it's nice to see people thanking him, and it's nice that their family thought of us and that we meant that much to him.
Any other? Yes, do you want to take on? Hearing no other questions or comments, can we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
Ms. Lee?
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan?
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye. Item 5.1, superintendent's item.
Give us a moment to adjust here, it's a little hard when the mouse and reading. Okay, under 5.0, superintendent's item, certified personnel recommending to the Board of Education approve the following certified staff appointments, change in assignment, paid leaves of absences. We have unpaid leaves of absence, and we have our 21-22 resident educated mentors. Those are our teachers going through, and then our after-school virtual learning program under certified personnel.
May we get a motion to approve item 5.1?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, may we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
Mrs. Ryan?
Aye.
Ms. Lee?
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye.
Under 6.0, I'm going to try a new thing here. My glasses are fogging up with my mask, so we will try this. Under 6.1, classified staff recommending to the Board of Education to approve the following classified personnel items or appointments, paid leaves of absences, and then we have ratification of a resignation and some seasonal employees.
May we get a motion to approve item 6.1?
So moved.
Second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, may we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
Mrs. Ryan?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg?
Aye.
Ms. Lee?
Aye.
Under 7.0, supplemental items, supplemental contracts. 7.1, supplemental contracts recommended to the Board of Education to approve the following supplemental contracts. Approval of payment of services performed for Mr. Shamp and Christina Barrick. And then you're going to see a list of supplemental activity programs. I just want to make note, right now you are going to see a lot that are there for Memorial and Brush. We do have a few of the Greenview. The first quarter of school, again, I use this word again, building up the stamina. It's been a long time since we've been, everybody coming back to school 5 days a week. School and children in school, again, still getting used to, getting accustomed to, again, the ever-changing, sometimes health protocols. And so one of the first things we want to do is first approve those supplemental contracts that were and again, academic related, so some of these things need to be approved because they affect graduation requirements. As you can see, National Honor Society, things like that, so they're there. So that through in the second quarter, we are going to start to look at some other clubs and some other, maybe, I guess I want to call it a gradual release of other things, because we want to make sure that folks, you know, are first attending to their day job, and then,
Hold on one second,
Yeah.
Dr. Reed. Charbel, are we having some issue with the audio?
We were, I believe it's resolved right now.
Okay.
We
It said not,
had to reset the stream, unfortunately.
okay. So does that mean it doesn't record for that piece?
For that little piece, I'm sorry, no.
Okay. Just want to make sure. They said the audio cut out during the board meeting and without the listeners to play.
We should be good right now.
Okay.
I just got that text, that's why I'm laughing, I'm sorry.
All right, I'm sorry.
it's okay.
Just want to make sure.
So again, part of the plan is, you know, really taking care of those ones that are related to, again, graduation requirements and other academic areas. There are some more clubs we're looking at start of the second quarter, which I believe is October, Mr. Miller, late October. So we are. It's not that we're not. We're just kind of, you know, making sure that we are handling our own change and we're having a gradual release. And so under supplemental contracts, we also put our unpaid volunteers there as well.
All right, may we get a motion to approve item 7.1?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
The only one is Oliver, his last name is with a Z, not a S.
Oh,
Oliver,
the swim coach.
yeah, the swim coach, it's Wensler with a Z, not a S.
Okay, so correction on this one, Coach.
He's a brush arc, great. So it's nice to have him.
Christmas time?
Yeah.
Shut up.
So it's nice to have him come back.
Oh, welcome. I went to S. Yes, with all the being right, and now you're like Winsler. Oh, happy birthday. Oh, that's exciting.
Any further questions or comments?
No, sorry.
Hearing none, may we get a roll call?
Ms. Lee?
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan?
Aye.
Under 8.0 business items, 8.1 recommending for the sale of lot and property. Let me be clear, that actually what you're being asked to approve is a listing agreement for the property. That just gets things rolling. It's been deemed that it's actually a piece of land that for quite some time that is not something that the school district has plans for. So we are just getting a listing for that right now. 8.2, parent transportation contract. Every once in a while, it's deemed impractical to provide transportation services with our school buses, and occasionally we have to enter in individual agreement for some of our students with special needs. 8.3, then again recommending approval for the superintendent's items 8.1 and 8.2.
May we get a motion to approve items 8.1 through 8.2?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, may we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
Ms. Lee?
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan?
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye.
Under 9.0, academic technology innovation, recommending the approval of item 9.1, the SEL student athletic handbook. I just want to, I know it's September 21st, just want to make a comment that the reason we're doing it now, and we usually do it much earlier, we have a new athletic leadership team in Mr. Ross and Mr. Commander. We certainly wanted to afford them the opportunity to take a look over. So again, this is something that's done usually earlier. And then 8.2, the adjustment to the 2021-2022 school calendar to include the recognition of Juneteenth. That does not affect every employee in the district, but those that work year-round. And so since it falls on a Sunday, the note is that we'll be recognizing it on Monday, June 20th. And then 9.3, approval of the superintendent's academic technology and innovation items as presented.
So moved.
May we get a motion?
Beat you to the punch.
Ms. Ryan? Second. Any questions or comments?
I mean, as it relates to the calendar, no issue with the dates or anything, but the legend on it has two boxes. One with slashes, which represents, I can't remember if it's the important days or the days off. And the other one is a solid box, which is the opposite. And at least on from my computer, everything was a solid gray box.
Mr. Kimball, you talk about the attachment, Mr. Bloomberg?
Yes, the actual calendar.
Okay,
So just
just a note of that?
a note.
Okay, we'll take a look at that.
That's something I thought it was just me when I put it up, I'm sorry. A lot of stuff I just think is just me. I'm
I
sorry.
mean, it could be my computer. I didn't.
No, I saw the same thing, but like, I just thought it was me because my stuff is normally
So
just messed
we
up.
certainly want clarity on that, so we'll
Yeah,
take
just for
that.
clarification.
I appreciate
All right, here.
it.
So if you go to the top, all the way to the right, it says calendar key. One is a solid box,
Yeah,
one has
Well,
lines.
yeah, so you couldn't really distinguish.
Everything in the calendar is solid gray.
So, yeah, I can see that. We'll take a look at that. I see it now.
Yeah. Thank you.
Got it? Thank you for the details.
Any other questions or comments? Can we get a roll call?
Mrs. Ryan?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg?
Aye.
Ms. Lee?
Under 10.0, Superintendent's items, student services and strategic partnerships, recommend the approval of 10.1 agreement with the SEL service agreement for 21-22. Again, this is for some of our social emotional initiatives that we have. And then we have 10.2, Rosetta Stone. We utilize Title III federal funds for our English language learners. And then 10.3 is a educational, GCL educational service contract, and this is for student and residential treatment. And then we go here, 10.4 is the McKinto-Binti agreement. Again, this agreement is being asked to consider under the confidentiality of the McKinto-Binti agreement consistent with federal legislation in being able to provide transportation as a requirement of that legislation. And then 10.5, approval of the superintendent's student services and strategic partnership items as presented from 10.1 to 10.4.
May we get a motion to approve items 10.1 through 10.4?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, may we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
Ms. Lee?
Aye. I was about to say so moved. Aye. Sorry.
Mrs. Ryan?
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye.
Under 11.0, superintendent's items for special education, recommending approval of 11.1 agreement with Beechwood for the admission of tuition pupils. This would be for any students that had hearing impairment. Just a little note, we don't currently have students in the program, but we want to get that approval just in case it allows us to have a seamless transition for students that may. Under 11.2, the 21-22 Maximum Healthcare Services Incorporated. This is, again, services for a student within our district that requires nursing responsibilities, and we as a school district are responsible for those nursing requirements while that child is in our schools. And just to make a note that that some of this can be reimbursed through Medicaid, and this happens from time to time. So, and then 11.3, approval of the superintendent's special education items as presented, 1.1 and 1.2.
May we get a motion to approve items 11.1 and 11.2?
So moved.
Second.
Ooh.
You can have it, Aaron.
Mr. Bloomberg, any questions or comments? Hearing none, may we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
Ms. Lee?
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan?
Aye.
Item 12, Board of Education, 12.1, information. The only information rotation this month, right?
Yes.
Could
I'm
you
gonna be
speak-
out of town, so I have to call Lyndhurst and come home a month or a week later.
You'll be out?
You want me to go stuff for you?
Or November, I can switch November. Or my
November.
November also.
November is you.
So do you want me just to do this one for
Do
you?
mine.
That's the only day.
The first week of whatever.
It's October 4th.
They're in person now, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Should be a big deal.
And
October 4th?
Yes.
Yeah.
Will you be back on the 11th?
Yes.
So, Aaron will do that.
Thank
I'll
you.
let Kelly know that you'll be there.
No problem.
And then, as a matter of information as well, Lyndhurst Council Coffee is coming up again. I think we missed it last year. Saturday, October 2nd, from 9 to 11.
That's
I believe we'll have a table
We
again.
will have a table, yes.
Okay.
And do we have a town too?
Well, I'm leaving the second.
Yeah.
We'll look for it.
I'll stop at Lyndhurst Council Coffee. I like that one.
I plan on being there for the duration, so I'll be
If
there.
it's food, you all know I will go.
I'll be there from 9 to 11.
7 or 8 beers. There's a 7.
I'll ask Catherine if she's going. Neil, were you going to attend there as well or no?
I can.
You don't have to.
I'm more
I
than
mean,
happy to, but, I don't even know what's on the calendar. But,
I just try to always be cognizant of more than 3 in the building.
well, that's true too.
Yeah.
So,
And if
if I
that's
go,
October 2nd.
then Aaron goes. If you,
Well, since you guys already indicated you were planning on going, I could,
Can't with Neil
I
go,
could
right?
eliminate myself.
all right.
Will there be
So,
students there as well?
There have been in the
Because in the
past.
past, there have been, and they've been fabulous.
Yeah.
We've approached it a couple of different ways. I always felt like sometimes I've had Mr. Williamson come and he would bring a few to the student council. And what I found out was people like to engage in conversation with the students more than with the adults. So, and again, we could do that. I'm not, with the mask and just everything like that, but yeah, we have had students there before. Like I said, I think they tell the true story of just of doing things. So we've done it both ways.
and that's all.
I forgot one more thing to mention. We are having the class of 71 is celebrating their 50th class reunion, and they are going to be here getting a tour on Saturday of the building, and I guess I was told it's the highlight of what they're looking for, so I'm hoping that we welcome them, and I'm hoping that they're happy with some of the renovations. I mean, the whole idea was to preserve the uniqueness of Brush. We know that it's been around for a while, and I think, and then also, for our students here today is also, moving into the future. So you're going to get a little bit of both, a little bit of history walking through our buildings and seeing, as you can see in this building, this room right here, some of the newness as well. So we want to welcome the class of 71.
So they will be here at 10 o'clock. Is there, who's guiding this?
I actually offered to guide it because I'm so excited to show off the building. But I think Mr. Williamson likes it too. So as far as I believe he told me that he was taking care of it, but it'll probably be myself or him, but I think he wants to do it. So
Okay. Should I call him? I don't want to overstep on his toes, but I wouldn't mind being here.
we can certainly let him know that you were interested too. I think they have I don't want to say maybe. I thought at least 45, maybe 50 of them that will be here. So I do think it is a significant one. And, a few of them are flying in from different places and that too. So I actually think it'd be a nice event.
And it says the tour starts at 10. Is that what time they'll be coming to the grounds?
The tour starts at 10. I think they'll probably show up a little bit earlier than that. And I'll try to find out maybe the logistics of where they're going to be starting at. And so I can certainly follow up with you.
Because that is homecoming dance night, right? So
It is.
Yes.
homecoming dance at 6:30.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep, the pep rally is Friday. Well, what's the announce the court? I think it's end of the day.
And it's outside.
7.
They're trying to verify as to whether it's permitted.
Yes, it'll be outside.
Any other information from board members?
I just want to say, as a Brush parent, Like, I love this space, but I love that space too, because I've used it for the brush PTA meeting out on patio and my after prom meetings. It's been very nice. So, yeah, so we've been hanging outside.
And it is part of the plan to also put some roof out there, but we just got it, everything takes time. So I'm glad you're utilizing it. So.
Yeah, so it works
Take
well.
one step at a time. As much as we want to do everything. Anything else? No? Any more public comments to do? I don't see any.
No.
No? And we do not have a need for executive session tonight?
Not to miss that.
No? And it is now 6:46. May we get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you to everyone that has joined us tonight. We appreciate you tuning in or joining us in person. Continue to like, share, and subscribe.
Tweet, you have to say tweet, like, share, tweet, and subscribe.
May we get a motion to adjourn?
Tweet.
Or roll call for adjournment. All in
Ms.
favor?
Lee, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. We all turned over?
Are we good? Good. I don't know.